Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7. Today's video is going to be your quick friendly reminder to of course enter both the viewers campaign and the predict the winners campaign. Now of course the predict the winners campaign is only live now for a few more hours before both the manufacturers and Nation Cup begins. So of course you'll need to go ahead and cast your votes in there for your chance to get up to 2 million credits. So if you're not particularly familiar with how the Predict the Winners campaign works, it's 1 million credits for predicting the correct winner of the manufacturers and 1 million for the correct winner, of course, of the Nations Cup. Now, in terms of my choices here, when it comes to the Nations Cup, I went for Miyazono. He's an incredibly safe bet. He's very, very consistent and pretty much always up there fighting for victory. And as for the manufacturers, well, I've once again gone for Subaru, but of course this time we do have a different driver with Drummond taking the wheel. Once again, an incredibly consistent driver, pretty much always up there battling for victory, and I do feel like he's got decent pace here. Now of course when it comes to round 1, Subaru did take victory there, so I do feel they have a lot of momentum going forward, and of course they're going to be probably trying to push for that second victory in 2 races. So that is my predictions for both manufacturers and Nations Cup. Of course, as for the predict the winners, it will be open up until the rounds start. So you've only got a few more hours to actually go ahead and get this entered if you haven't already. Of course, if you've already entered, then that's absolutely fine. You don't actually have to do anything else at this point. Of course, you've got yourself in the running to earn 2 million credits. Now, as we can see here, for the entry period, it began on Friday, September 5th, and it will run up until the start of each race, so right before the manufacturers and right before the Nations Cup. As for the distribution and how to claim, they will be distributed in-game this next Monday on September 22nd, and they can be collected from the gifts tab section in your garage. Now, there is a note here that they will only be available for a limited time, so make sure to collect them inside of that period. Typically it's usually 2 weeks to a month around that mark, so most people will probably jump in GT7 in that time frame, of course, if they have entered this, but you will need to claim them inside of that time period or they will just go to complete waste and disappear. Now, as for the way it's distributed, so let's say if you correctly predict the winner of the Nations Cup or just the manufacturers, then you'll just receive that 1 ticket. If you do both, then of course you'll receive 2 tickets, and of course if you don't correctly predict any of the winners, then unfortunately it just won't show any reward in the garage. But yeah, of course that's how it's going to work, and you only have a few more hours to go ahead and enter this. However, it is worth noting that the better of the 2 campaigns does begin today. That is a viewers gift campaign. Now, of course, these will open up once the live streams go live for both manufacturers and the Nations Cup. At that point, you can go ahead and watch the stream just for a couple of seconds, and that will count as your entry, of course, if you don't want to watch the entire thing. Now, as for the car rewards, round 2 winning team car, which will be a group 3 car in that Gran Turismo World Series livery. Of course, previously we got the Subaru BRZ, and as for the Nations Cup, well, you can get yourself a legend vehicle here, the Porsche 962C from 1988 with the round 2 winning country livery. Of course, prior to this one in London, it was the Aston Martin Valkyrie, of course draped in those Spanish colours. Once again, all you need to do is when both of the streams go live is just click on it from in-game, and of course that will count as your entry. You don't have to watch the entire thing if you don't want to, so it's going to take you a maximum of a couple of seconds, about 30 seconds, to enter both of these campaigns. Like I mentioned, out of the 2 campaigns, this is definitely the better one. If the Group 3 car is anything to go by, it will have a pre-installed tuning on it with upgrades and have every single compound of tyre available for it. Definitely worth it in that sense. And of course, the other car is a Legends vehicle with a good few million credits, and definitely one of my personal favourite vehicles in the entirety of GT7, the legendary Porsche 962C. Once again, will more than likely already have upgrades on it, so definitely worth getting yourself this one. Now, of course, the entry period for this one is a little bit different, and it opens up today once each of the live broadcasts actually begin. So the best time to go ahead and do it is when it's live, just to jump in and make sure that you do actually have yourself entered. At that point, it will then lock off on Monday, October 6th. So even if you do end up missing it, you can still go ahead and enter it up until a decent amount of time. Now, as for the broadcast schedule, as we can see, both races are on today, September 20th. As for reward distribution and how to claim, well, they will be distributed in-game on Tuesday, October 7th, and they can once again be collected from the gifts tab in the garage. Now again, note they will be only available for a limited time, so you will need to go ahead and actually claim the tickets to make sure that car actually gets put in your garage. So be 100% sure that you enter GT7 in the 2 to 4 weeks after that to make sure you actually claim the cars themselves, because again, a little bit like the credits, it will come through as a ticket which will need to be claimed by the player. Anyway, that's just a quick, friendly little reminder. So go ahead and make sure you get these done today. Of course, you will then go ahead and start receiving gifts from next Monday. And of course, then in a few weeks' time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.